Hello and welcome you to this course Applied Ergonomics. My name is Ankur Gupta and I am faculty in the School of Mechanical Sciences at Indian Institute of Technology, Bhubaneswar. I and Dr. Shantanu Bhattacharya, who is professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, will cover this course. This is the first lecture out of approximate 30 lectures decided for this course. I have collected the matter for teaching this course from various sources such as books, papers, internet search, so on and so forth, in order to make this whole matter easier to understand for all students irrespective of kind of disciplines of engineering and related streams. So, we have added facts, figures, graffiti, daily life examples and try to present the matter in lively manner. So, I hope you will like this course. So, before introducing the whole syllabus which we are going to cover in this course, let us start with taking a most common example. Suppose you have been given an assignment to design a chair. So, what will be your approach? What are the factors that you will be considering in order to design a chair? So, as you can see from this figure that has been put for better visualization of this designing a chair. So, what will happen if the seat becomes too deep? What will happen if seat is too low? And what difficulty will a user face when elbow rest is too high? So, as you can see, in fact, you can visualize all these situations in this figure shown. So, when seats are too high, the feet can no longer be used to extend the base of support beyond the base of chair. So, these all sort of mismatches causes chronic problems like lower back pain, etc. Let us have another example. The figure, in fact, the picture that we are seeing here, after designing a chair which is ergonomically perfect, user sits and starts working for a prolonged period of time. So, please see this picture in which a lady is sitting in chair doing her work. This is the most common situation where which everybody faces. Maintaining a wrong posture while working for continuous hours may lead to neck pain, wrist pain and back pain. So, this is sort of musculoskeletal disorders which may affect muscles, tendons, joints, ligaments and nerves can be counted among the main reasons for sick leaves in industrialized countries. And in fact, there is one of the most promising situation when people used to do work in front of computer. So, those computer workstations are often at the top of one's mind as an example, but also you can consider as a microscopic workstations carry the risk of staining the backs and neck of their users. So, for a prolonged period of time, if you are working in front of any machine, let us say computer, so that constant posture will give you a lot of disorders. In fact, this musculoskeletal disorder is one of the famous disorder nowadays. So, these anthropometric mismatches can have serious consequences for health and efficiency. In fact, I have put one more interesting picture that you can see from the slide, that in which a son is asking to his father that what is ergonomy. So, father replies that son, it is making children tall enough not to have dads bend so much. So, ergonomics is about taking care of user difficulties, or in other words analyzing the factors responsible for decreasing the system performance and work on those aspects, thereby making system completely efficient. So, now after taking these examples, we will start discussing the overview of this particular course, ergonomics. So, now we come to understand the definition of ergonomics. Ergonomics is basically composed of two Greek words. The first word is ergo, which means work, and second word is nomos, which means study or laws. So, as a combination of these two words, we can state the definition of ergonomics as study of the work. And as far as its definition is concerned, so it is the scientific discipline concerned with the understanding of interactions among humans and other elements of a system, and the profession that applies theory, principles, data and methods to design in order to optimize human well-being and overall system performance. So, overall its purpose is to improve the system performance by improving the human, machine and environment interaction. So, this basically the first time that ergonomic word was used by W. Jastrzębowski in a Polish newspaper, which was in 1857. So, in fact, in the US that particular ergonomics is understood as a human factors engineering. So, human factor engineering and human factors have been close synonyms. European ergonomics has its roots in work physiology and biomechanics and work system design also. So, human factors on the other hand originated from research in experimental psychology, where the focus was on human performance and system, in fact system design also. So, but there are several other names such as engineering psychology and more recently cognitive engineering and cognitive system engineering. The latter emphasizes the importance of human information processing for our science. So, despite the difference between human factor and ergonomics in the type of knowledge and design philosophy, so basically the approaches, these two approaches are coming closer. So, as per the interaction of computers in the workspace is going on increasing. So, basically to solve a problem that is related to computer workplaces, an ergonomist must be able to identify the problem, analyze it and suggest the improvement in the form of a particular optimized design solution. So, as in a nutshell we can say that the primary purpose of human factors study and ergonomics is design. So, ergonomics should be a good designer in order to have a solution, to provide a solution in order to improve the performance of any system. So, the core sciences from which ergonomics is drawn are psychology, anatomy, biomechanics, some sort of physiology, physics, and physics mainly concerning with the mechanics and environmental physics, and obviously engineering. So, the practitioners of ergonomics and ergonomists contribute to the design and evaluation of tasks, jobs, products, environment and system in order to make them compatible with the needs and ability and limitation of the people. So, overall this ergonomics is all about improving the system by involving themselves in the loopholes and the errors that has been caused previously in the system. So, it is all about improving the errors in the system and provide it efficient way of doing work. So, as you can see from this circle, this particular ergonomics is in the center and the product as well as product manufacturing is concerned. If you are performing any task, if you are in an organization and you are dealing with the team, if you are living in any kind of environment, whether it is real or virtual, or if you are sitting in a chair and performing your job. So, these all areas, whether it be a product manufacturing, task performance, organization dealing, environmental interaction and job doing job. So, these all components belonging to ergonomics. So, everywhere it is a need to improve the performance. So, where the system performance is coming into picture, ergonomic is there. Okay. So, now we have to understand the problems and corresponding knowledge arising from the introduction of several workstation, let us say machine in the workplace. So, we have lot of problems while working, whether we are sitting in a room or we are performing a job in any organization. So, if you are facing a problem in a work posture, you should have a knowledge which is required to solve the problems lies in the area of biomechanics. If you are tackling the problem with the size of the screen characters, contrast and colors, so you have to gain knowledge in order to solve that particular problem. The knowledge is required of vision research and perception. If you are facing troubles with environmental factors, so you have to have knowledge of noise and environmental stresses. If you have dealing with the problem in designing a new system, so you have to make yourself aware of the system's design. If you are dealing with any problem solving at work, so you should have a knowledge towards cognitive work analysis and task analysis. So, all sorts of area which are related to problem solving. So, as a term being provided, so those areas like biomechanics, work physiology, cognitive engineering, dealing with the physical work environment. So, those areas as a whole, if you want to give a particular name, so that name will be ergonomics. Since these are in the applied area, so the whole term that we can give as a substitute of all these areas is applied ergonomics. So, these are all the areas. If you are sitting in front of computers or you are tackling any machine, so analysis of human machine interface requires interdisciplinary knowledge of all these areas such as biomechanics, cognitive psychology, system design methodology, and as well as physical factors also. So, now as far as implementation of ergonomic in system design is concerned, so it should make the system work better by eliminating undesirable, uncontrolled aspects such as fatigue, inefficiency, accidents or injuries and user difficulty. So, interdisciplinary knowledge is required in this ergonomic design for the following reasons. The first kind of reason may be in fact the following reasons like to formulate system goals, to understand functional requirements, to design a new system, to analyze a system and to implement a system. So, overall aim is to make the system better by eliminating undesirable, uncontrolled aspects such as those have been listed down. Like if some work is if you are working for a prolonged period of time and fatigue arises, so you have to take care of those aspects and you have to provide the solution. If you are inefficient, in fact any of the aspect such as human, machine or environment, so if all threes are leading to have inefficiency of the system, so we need to take care of those aspects. And in most of the cases, most in industries, accidents and injuries are also a bit prominent. So, we have to eliminate those factors in order to avoid accidents and injuries, and we have to also take care of user difficulties. So, in fact this human factors we have to study, and this is synonymous with ergonomics. So, in Europe that particular term is known as human factors engineering, and as far as this US terminology is concerned, the word is ergonomics. So, the study the topics are which have been covered are more or less same, but the names are different. So, since we are trying to understand this ergonomics, so the reason we have to make it more clear that why we are focusing towards system performance and various areas. Deliberately we are putting into study these diversified topics, which as a in a combination is making a particular course. So, since like in 1979, the various human related disasters have contributed to public awareness about the importance of ergonomics and human factors. So, there are various kinds of disasters that have happened because of the human errors, and that is why the focus of human being is now is to find out those factors and provide possible solutions so that human error can be minimized. So, there are various accidents which I have listed down. So, a 3 Mile Island nuclear power plant accident which has happened in 1979 near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. There is another kind of human related disaster which is Bhopal pesticide plant Union Carbide Company which has happened in 1984. Challenger space shuttle in 1986 above Cape Kennedy, Florida. Another kind of explosion have happened in Chernobyl nuclear power plant, nuclear plant explosion. Exxon Valdez oil split, this has happened in 1989, Prince William Sound, Alaska, and in 2003 the disaster has happened, the Columbia space shuttle. So, these all disasters were the results of human errors mostly caused by inadequate attention to ergonomics and human factors in system design and related management, and obviously caused by flaws in decision by human being. So, in fact, if we go in the history, so the human factors emerged as a discipline after World War II. So, in US many problems were encountered in the use of sophisticated equipments such as airplanes, radar and sonar stations and tanks as well. So, sometimes these problems caused human errors with grave consequences. For example, during the Korean War, more pilots were killed during the training than in actual war activities. So, this surprising finding led to a review of the design of airplanes as well as procedures and strategies in operation. So, several issues related to the design or ergonomics were brought up, like how can information be better displayed so that pilots can quickly understand what the situation is. And as far as these disasters are concerned, so how can controls be integrated with the task that they were intuitive and easier to handle. So, these all research have emphasized the study towards human factors involvements. So, much research was done in human factors engineering to support new designs. And in fact, there are several government agencies also which have sponsored research on civilian applications of human factors engineering. So, in fact, in the US there are many examples like the Federal Highway Administration which is for the design of highways and road signs, NASA for human capabilities and limitations in space, and another agency is that the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration which is taking care of design of cars including crash worthiness and effects of drugs and alcohol on driving. So, these are all the factors which are related to the human activities as well as those those related to the interaction between human and machine. So, based on that there are some flaws which has been occurred and which has been converted to several disasters and accidents as well. So, this is just because of the inadequate attention to the ergonomical factors as well as human factors in designing as well as the response which we have given and that particular required time. So, that all sorts of things which includes the human decision incapabilities as well as inadequate information that has been provided to run the system. So, these systems as a whole and in fact, the study of those informations, inadequate information and decision making, those comes in the study of this particular course, ergonomics. So, these are the disasters that I have listed down which will give you an insight that if the proper attention or proper system design is not performed. So, what maximum can happen. So, it may lead to heavier disasters in terms of accidents and injuries which is very unfortunate, and these in fact disasters that I have listed down have taken many lives. So, such important, that is why the study of ergonomics is important because in worst cases it may lead to heavier damages. So, now we come to the course outline where I will list down the topics that we are going to cover in whole syllabus of applied ergonomics. So, first is introduction and human machine system, then we will proceed to physical ergonomics, then we will discuss cognitive ergonomics, some of the biomechanics part which is directly related to the study of the stresses and forces causing damage to a certain part of the body. We will also discuss of the physical work environment because this work environment is very much necessary to study and to know. So, the awareness of the environment where we are working is utmost important. Some of the tools and techniques which has been explored so far in the regime of this applied ergonomics. So, that we will discuss, and some of the research methodologies that has been utilized in order to perform research in ergonomics area. And lastly, we will discuss some occupational safety and health. So, these in a nutshell we will be covering these topics in this particular applied ergonomic course. Okay. So, that was the slight introduction of this course. Now, we will go towards overview of ergonomic course, in which we will initiate with the brief history of ergonomics. So, it has been quoted in Vedas that disease in human being is caused by misuse of the body, and problem is usually threefold involving body, mind and spirit out of the harmony with the existing environment. So, almost every introductory lecture or a chapter in ergonomics explains that word ergonomic comes from word ergon and nomos. So, which means work study or some sort of physical laws also. So, technology was also well developed in ancient Greece, it means, because this particular ergonomic word has been originated from Greek dictionary. So, although not many texts are available about the technological knowledge of the time, but the archaeological findings of objects of everyday use which may be tools, buildings, ships, statues or even automatic mechanism constitute valuable science of a high technological level achieved in fact achieved by ancient Greeks. So, there is a strong evidence that ancient Greeks design was human centered. So, but the credit goes to the Wojciech Jastrzębowski in 1857, which most of the book have referred as a father of world ergonomics. So, the word ergonomics was coined by British scientist K.F.H. Murrell and entered the English language in 1949. So, the statues and paintings indicate that ancient Greeks had a good knowledge of anthropometry. We will discuss in detail what this anthropometry is all about. In fact, we have some separate topic to discuss about this anthropometry. So, so there are various researchers, and researchers basically have contributed directly or indirectly towards this ergonomics. So, one of the Hippocrates, who was a father of medical science, developed concrete recommendations for surgeons' workplace. So, in fact, the great Hippocrates suggests that a surgeon may be either standing or sitting depending on the types of operation, but he always has to adopt the most comfortable posture. So, having describing these postures, Hippocrates determines the relative position of the surgeons, the patient and the source of light, both natural or artificial light. So, in order to facilitate the operation and avoid glare. So, in some text he also suggested about the tools, that tools have to be placed near to the operating hand of the surgeon. So, but at the same time they must not hinder the movement of surgeon. So, Hippocrates also suggests that surgical tools should have such a shape, size, weight and construction so as to promote ease of use. So, these all things that has already been done in 370 BC, and we are in fact the following the same protocol and strategies that have been provided with our ancient researchers. So, this properly in fact, although the word ergonomic has come in this century, but the work has already been done by our ancient researchers. So, the list is big. So, Hippocrates, Aristotle, Leonardo da Vinci and many more. So, we all know, we all are aware of the Leonardo da Vinci work. So, in which he has worked a lot and documented his findings on the anthropometry. So, that was history, that was a brief history in fact, and so we are there are various key areas which as a subdivision of ergonomic course. So, the ergonomics can be subdivided in several key areas. So, it will be anthropometry, in which anthropometry is again a Greek word which consists of basically two Greek words, anthropo and metron. So, it means measurement of man and woman. We will be describing in detail the anthropometric analysis also in human oriented design topic. Physical ergonomics, cognitive ergonomics, organizational ergonomics and physical work environment. So, these are the following key areas which we will discuss in detail in later slides. So, this physical ergonomics basically also covers subtopics such as anatomy, biomechanics, physiology and it also includes some sort of psychology. So, in a nutshell we will go to understand those subtopics. So, first we will try to understand what is this physical ergonomics. So, this physical ergonomics is concerned with the human anatomical, anthropometric, physiological and biomechanical characteristics as they relate to physical activities. So, in a generalized sense, if you perform any work which is related to putting physical efforts, so what are the effects of that particular work on your body. So, study of these effects on your body and its positive and negative effects, when we do a study, that study comes in the physical ergonomics. So, the relevant topics may include working postures. So, all of us work in a certain posture, and but if that posture if we are maintaining for a prolonged period of time, so it may lead to some sort of disorders and diseases. Other physical efforts may include material handling, repetitive movements, work related musculoskeletal disorders, workplace layout, safety and health and related to temperature and vibration also. So, these all sort of physical efforts and related study comes in this physical ergonomics. So, there are basically few important terms which in a general comes in this physical ergonomics. So, these are the anthropometry, physiology, biomechanics and anatomy. So, anthropometry is as a definition wise, if we have to give a one statement, so we will describe as a scientific study of the measurement and proportion of the human body. And what is its relation to ergonomics? So, it involves collecting statistics or measurements relevant to the human body, which we call as a anthropometric data. So, this data is usually displayed as a table of results, diagram or graph. So, this anthropometric data is usually very important for designers and architects. Another terminology is physiology. So, as a definition wise, we can state that it is a branch of biology that is concerned with vital processes of living organisms and how their constituents, tissues and cells function. So, and again the relation to the ergonomics is like those physiological problems occur when the body is required to do too much work. So, if we are involved in some continuous hour of working, so and in fact we are not maintaining the proper posture. So, in fact we can say that we are working awkwardly or working under bad environmental conditions. So, that physiological problems mostly occur. So, the design of a system should be considering to avoid those problems. The next important term is biomechanics. So, biomechanics is nothing but a study of mechanical laws which is relating to the movement or structure of various parts of the body. So, its relation to ergonomics is we can just model muscles with forces and calculate ways to minimize work done. Another important term is anatomy. So, in anatomy we study the various body parts, body structure of human being, in fact and other living organisms also, especially as revealed by dissection and separation of the parts. So, in order to improve the efficiency of the work, this study of anatomy is needed. So, these topics will be explained in details in coming lectures. So, what is ergonomics and what are the subtopics that could be possibly covering in this particular course. So, another question arises here as why we are going to study this physical ergonomics. So, in industries or in any manual work, let us say if you can see this example or in fact this figure. So, a large number of occupations require workers to expend physical energy to perform their job. So, manual labor is primary work activity in industries such as constructions, agriculture, mining and a lot of manufacturing activities and other logistic activities are there. So, these work situations include a significant amount of physical work, which may include lifting, carrying load from one place to another, other manual handling tasks which include a sufficient significant amount of lifting, carrying and other manual handling tasks involving tools, parts, packages, materials and containers. So, all those work which involves manual labor. So, after a continuous and repetition of that work, the stress appears and that leads to some sort of disorders. So, that is why the study of this particular physical ergonomics is very much important in order to have a survival of workers in an industry. So, another topic is that we are going to cover is cognitive ergonomics. So, cognitive ergonomics is the way we can understand. So, in a general those cognitive activities are when you read something, when you write, when you listen something, when you speak, when you think, when you learn something, in fact when you design something or when you calculate something. So, those all the activities which takes assistance of brain, that is coming in the cognitive activities, and the study related to this is known as cognitive ergonomics. So, cognitive ergonomics is concerned with the capabilities and limitations of the human brain, and we also do study of sensory system which is directly contributing to perform any activity, and that is deciding your course of action. So, all sort in that cognitive ergonomics we will be covering information processing model as well as the description of various parts of the human sensory system. This cognitive ergonomics considers how the human mind perceives its environment and process information. So, the relevant topics which we will consider for discussion are mental workload, decision making, skilled performance, human computer interaction, human reliability, work stress and training as they may relate to human systems design. So, all sorts of activities which are done with the help of brain comes in this cognitive activities, and we try to explore this in a much explicit way. So, nowadays cognitive ergonomics is becoming much more important in fact than physical ergonomics, because the environment of doing work is the shifting towards the utilization of brain rather than seeking for manual efforts. So, because of the several trends in industries and technology, this cognitive ergonomics is becoming increasingly important, has become increasingly important relative to the physical ergonomics, as well as we are shifting towards mechanization and automation in physical tasks, which requires workers to monitor and control processes that were previously performed manually. So, as well as increased use of technologically sophisticated equipment that is cognitively more challenging to operate, maintain and repair. So, why the reason why which is giving more important towards the study of cognitive ergonomics are these. The another topic that we are going to cover as the organizational ergonomics. So, what this organizational ergonomics is all about? It is concerned with the operation of socio-technical systems, including their organizational structures, policies and process. So, the relevant topics in this organizational ergonomics are communication, the crew resource management, work design, design of working times, teamwork, participatory design, community ergonomics, cooperative work, new work paradigms, virtual ergonomics, virtual organization, telework and quality management. So, these are all the topics that in fact all the sort of activities that are being performed in an organization and that are directly or indirectly affecting the performance of that particular organization comes in this organizational ergonomics. The next topic that we will be covering as a physical work environment. So, the study related to physical work environment, why this physical work environment study is necessary, because whether work is a physical or it is related to any mental work. So, it is performed in a certain kind of environment. So, by making the physical components of the work as comfortable and undistracting as possible, so better job satisfaction and greater productivity are encouraged. So, in fact the environment is playing a very important role in the system performance. So, in that work environment we will in fact we have discretized that work environment into three aspects. First is visual environment, second is auditory environment, third is climate control. So, in that visual environment we will discuss about the physics of the light, we will also discuss about the visual performance, visual acuity and other sort of defects also we will be discussing. The lighting system, what could be the proper lighting a particular environment should have in order to a better working environment. As well as auditory environment is concerned, so we have to take care of the noise level and obviously that is permissible noise, and we have to take care of noise control activities. So that we will discuss in detail what are the factors responsible for this noise control and effects of the noise as well. And we will also discuss thermal regulation and what the effect of the heat stress and cold stress over the human body, and what is the reaction of that human body towards that reduced or higher temperature, because the ambient is very much necessary in order to have in order to provide a best performance. So, another topic which we are dealing towards this course accomplishment is occupational safety and health. So, in that occupational safety is concerned with the avoidance of industrial accidents. So, basically this occupational safety and health is an important national, in fact global issue that affects virtually every person who works. There are several federal agencies established to address these issues, which are OSHA, whose full form is Occupational Safety and Health Association, and one kind of federal agency is NIOSH, whose full form is National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, whose responsibility is to engage in research, training and education in the area of occupational safety and health. So, there are two aspects of this particular thing, occupational safety and occupational health. So, occupational safety is related to the study which deals with the factors that avoids industrial accidents, and like occupational health is also there, which is concerned with avoiding diseases and disorders caused by exposure to hazardous materials or conditions. So, these conditions most often develop after a prolonged period of exposure, and it may take years before symptoms reveal the onset of the malady. So, and this occupational safety, this is a one time event that cause injury or fatality. So, these issues need to be addressed because life is very much important. Those were all about the brief description of the topics that we are going to cover in the next stage of this course as we are proceeding. So, the matter to read, I have just listed down some of the books. There are many books based on, not exactly on the ergonomics, but the many books are available with some other names, because this is a completely interdisciplinary subject. So, mostly the matter you will be getting in the form of engineering psychology, human factors engineering, measurement of human, in fact measure of man and woman, and cognitive ergonomics. So, I have collected matter from various sources, and I would like to special thanks to Google that have given a lot of freedom for the matter to read and understand. So, these are all the books which you can spend time in order to understand in a better way this particular courses and the topics affiliated. So, with this I would like to finish this first lecture, in which some introduction has been covered. I hope the content discussed so far have given you some idea about that particular word ergonomics. So, we will initiate with the description of various subtopics to be covered in this course, as well as the human machine interaction in detail in next lectures. Thank you.